Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're gonna look at an invention that some Italian dude did back in 1899. There was a guy named Alessandro Volta, or Alessandro Volta, that you get the word volt or volts as in electricity. What he did was a battery, which probably he kind of took after the Baghdad battery and whatever they call that. Basically what he did, he stacked a few metals, put some cloth in between them, put them in brine, let them pickle, and when he got them out, got a battery. Easy, bye. That was the video. Okay, no, never mind. So when Alessandro was off his job making pasta and all that good stuff, for example, he started making batteries. And how he did that was very easy. It's called the Voltaic or Volta's pile. Basically what you do, you take a piece of copper, a piece of zinc, and in between you put some kind of cloth or paper in some kind of brine, which would be either vinegar, and when you have zinc, copper, you see where that's going. So you're creating electrolytes, just like the electrolytic batteries that they're still around today, the non-rechargeable ones. But this one is actually rechargeable. Believe it or not, just a few days ago when he made it in 1899, he thought about recharging the battery. And that was something that was not really that much known back then. But just in case you thought that batteries are a new invention, welcome to this video to ruin your dreams. And let's begin with the basics. So I got here some coins that used to be money here in US, but now they're kind of money. Really, you can't buy nothing with them, except that the, clerk asks you to donate to places you never heard of, and that's fine. And we're gonna do it exactly how Alessandro Volta did it. He went to Harbor Freight, he bought some cheap washers because they're zinc, and started making his battery. That's how Alessandro Volta did it. And I have no reason not to do it just like he did. And we're gonna take all the washers we have left here because the big ones always go first. And we're gonna see how that goes. Now, I have a lot of washers here. Let me close this one. And the second one would be to cut the kind of circly thingies here. I'm gonna go the easy way here. So we're gonna build this thing and make it look really nice and cute. We flip the paper here. Yes, he took his paper from his printer too, just like me, and cut it and made the battery. Back in his day, yeah, they had a lot of printers, especially the laser jet thingies. Oh yeah, they were a big deal. Anyway, let me cut this one. That was a joke, by the way, in case you didn't get that part. Let me just cut it this way, and it's not cut in the way I want because these are probably the dullest scissors you've ever seen. And yes, these are cutting scissors, not what you're thinking. Take your head off the gutter, and let me just fold it really quick without talking, and let's make it like they used to do in the movies in Alessandro Volta's time. And the reason the movies didn't have sound back in his day was due to copyright issues. I'm very sure about that. Because, copyright stuff was back then too. So I guess that's why they made the silent movies. Anyway, let's get out of the jokes, because you guys, I know, are very much jokesters. And I cut this really, really bad. And well, anyway, we're gonna pickle them, though it doesn't really matter at this point. There's a lot of these kind of semicircle thingies here. Okay, so now we have almost everything we need, except I'm gonna cut a piece of this stuff here. Yes, it's aluminum foil, the expensive variety from dollar store, and we'll just rip this off here, and we're gonna start doing stuff. Now we're gonna start the brine itself, which we are gonna pickle this paper on, and it's gonna be really delicious. And yes, my vinegar is in this bottle because it's used for cleaning. Woohoo! Okay, let me put it here on the side, and now I have salt that has been very nicely put on onion minced whatever bottle this is, because it's a workshop salt. It's not the garden variety that you might have planted in your backyard. I plant my salt differently. Okay, I think that's too much salt, but that is fine. We're just trying to create electrolytes. And we will stir it. Maybe with the other side of the spoon. Ooh, this is delicious. And please, side note, do not drink this stuff. You will hate your life. and you will hate my channel and unsubscribe and all that good stuff. I never told you to drink it. Okay, now let's throw some papers in here and let them soak, I guess, for a second. Boom, soak right there. Okay, and let's make a pile really quick and see if we can go somewhere with this. So I'm going to put this on the very bottom of it. I'm going to fold it just a little bit more to make sure we have a better contact. Rip the part here. Boom. This part is not exactly necessary, but I don't have a way to put the probes under. And yes, these coins used to actually have value back in the day. They used to be copper. Now they're not copper, so your mileage may vary. Anyway, so now let me take a piece of paper, put it on top of that. If the paper got dry, we don't have a deal. And I have no idea how to work with the tweezers. Here we go. Boom. Quick, quick, quick. Put one of these, one of these. Why are these tweezers giving me a hard time? I don't understand. Another one of these, and another one of these. Now this is a battery, and I'm just gonna go plug my entire house on it, and I'm sure it will be really good. That was another bad joke. Let me bring this thing right here and always put it in DC. And if you don't know what DC is, basically in the meter you'll have either DC written or you'll have that voltage sign with the dots right there. And for AC you'll have either written AC or the voltage with the proximity, or what do you call that line, and it's easy to understand. Now let's check what we have going on. How many volts? You want to bet it's less than 2 volts? Place your bets now. Paper here, and we have 70, 80, 85, 87 volts. That is a lot of volts, as you see right there. Now, if I had a lot of money to make one of these very big, it would be really good. Now, can you power anything with this? No. Why would you even think that? What's wrong with you? Why did I make this experiment? Just to prove a point that today we are suffering more for information than actual resources, because this information has been around since the early 1900s or late 1800s, and we are not utilizing it to make emergency batteries, but we scramble around to charge our phones. Now, yes, if you have pieces of copper, if you go to either Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever those places are, they have actually washers like this one, or you can buy just pieces. They're actually caps made of this, just pieces of straight up zinc. Really good ones without the hole in the middle. And instead of these pennies that are not really good even to conduct energy, you can go buy copper washers or copper caps. They're just literally pieces or round pieces of copper, and instead of this paper you can find some cloth. I would suggest you go with some kind of thin, if you can find linen, dank it good, cut them in a nice shape and try it. If you want to make it even better than what I did here, I suggest you go buy the biggest round pieces of copper, big round pieces of zinc, and cut big nice pieces of cloth to go in between to build this one. And in that case you would have a better chance having a higher voltage. And yes, I mentioned this is rechargeable, and that part is true, and I was not joking. And what I mean by that, let's say you got the copper pieces a little bit thicker, as you see here, and you got the zinc pieces thicker than this one right here, and you got the cloth on the middle. Now, how I would do it, I would find, or if they don't have already a hole in the middle, but make a hole in the middle right here to go through them. Or instead, you can build some kind of contraption with 3 poles to hold it almost on a cylinder, but that is open. An open cylinder that would be really not that hard to build. I am not gonna build it here, but basically when you put all your details inside, here and it's open all around. You enclose it with rods or whatever you happen to find. You have your positive and negative or vice versa. How you would recharge it when the cloth gets too dry, that you'll see the voltage dropping, all you need to do is take this whole thing, disconnect it from wherever you have it connected, and dang this entire thing on some kind of container with electrolytes, or that would be just brine made of vinegar and salt. Otherwise, you can make it with water and salt as well, but vinegar and salt works a little bit better. And that would be something that you can recharge and use, and I'm talking about on a bigger scale, you can use for emergency. And to make it even better, but it will dry just a little bit faster, you could use one of these guys right here. This is a buck booster converter, and what you do, let's say you built your battery and you put your leads, one in the minus here, one in the plus right here, and now from this one you can get out of here plus and minus again, of course. But what you can do here, you can increase or decrease the voltage right here at the output. And now you can increase and decrease the power too. And what you do, you can get it from, let's say, you make it big enough to produce, let's say, 4 volts. But you need a nominal 5, 6, or 8 volts. You try if this thing does the trick. If you build the Volta battery good enough, thick enough, and big enough, you can, in a pinch, recharge technically a phone or something small. Yes, or alternatively, you can build the whole tower, as I'm saying, and you can use one of those spray bottles to spray it. Disconnect it first and keep spraying it until it's completely wet again, and you would spray it from, for example, from the hole that you put the rod, if you do it that way, and all that vinegar would go throughout all the cloths, and you wait for it till it falls on the bottom, that all the cloth is completely wet, and now you got the battery recharged. Now, you may not want to build this one, that is up to you, but my job here is done showing you that this exists, and yes, this was from the 1899 experiment that he did, and it worked, and it still works today. If you want to make it, if you have the materials and the time. And with that said, please like and subscribe this video, and I hope you learned something from this video, and we'll see you next time. Bye!